Good morning and welcome to our beautiful home here in the Sacramento Mountains. As you can see behind me, we finally got a little bit of snow and we certainly needed the moisture. Today I wanted to tell you about, in 1610, King Louis VIII of France ordered them to change their firearms from matchlocks and wheel locks that they had before that time and go with the new design flintlocks. The flintlock rifle or muskets served France all through the 1600s into the 1700s, clear up to 1840 before it was replaced with the new percussion cap models. This is a 1777 Charleville musket. It's in 69 caliber. This one was made by musket in France. And just to take you through a little parts of it, it was considered an improvement over the British Brown Besses that were in 75 caliber because it was lighter, it was easier to handle. France at the time had the strongest steel, so it was really truly an improvement over that. It was made for gentleman warfare of the time. Gentleman warfare of the time, the troops lined up opposite of each other. One side was chosen to fire first, and a volley of fire rang into the ranks. They didn't need real accurate firearms. They were only shooting like 60 yards, 40 yards. When the men fell, then the ranks stepped up, the next one's in line, and then they exchanged the volley back. Gentleman warfare. It was something else to behold. A lot of people died while the upper crust stayed on their horses and watched. This musket was used in the Revolutionary War. It was used by French soldiers. It wasn't used by Continental Army soldiers. They were issued the older muskets from France, those made in the 1760s. This was an improvement because it used barrel bands. In the front barrel band, a brass sight was forged into the band. It was improved in that the pan was made out of brass and put at a slanted angle for better ignition. The frizzen, of course, was made out of steel. The hammer and the lock for the system was redesigned. It featured, the 77 model featured 2 finger grips. It also featured the cheek piece cutout. The rifle had 3 purposes in a battle. Whenever they fought, an expert marksman, one of their best, could get off maybe 3 rounds a minute. Black powder being what it is, that was about the end of it if they got off the 3. The average life expectancy was 1.5 rounds. So, with that said, like I told you, there's 3 versions of this. Where they fired, and as the ranks closed, they attached a bayonet onto it, and it became a pike. And they fought with a pike. Then when that degenerated on down, they were turned around and used as clubs. Matter of fact, the end of this musket is called a pâté de vache. And if my French from high school serves me right, that stands for cow's foot. And it became a club. And that was the uses of the 1777 Charleville style musket. Charleville is not really a correct term for the musket, but that's the one that it got saddled with. In keeping with that, I wanted to show you the difference between black powder and smokeless powder. This is a black powder substitute. It's called Pyrodex. It's used in all modern muzzleloading rifles, and it doesn't have quite the same explosiveness that black powder does. Black powder is an explosive. It explodes. This will give you a kind of a similar idea. How fast it flashes. That's black powder. Smokeless powder does not have as much smoke, and it burns. Slow rate burn, creating pressure, forcing the bullet out the muzzle. Just a side warning, don't try this at home. I know people that always do these demonstrations tell you that. Black powder can be made at home. It's very volatile. Matter of fact, it's against the law to keep more than a pound unless you have a powder magazine. I hope you enjoyed today this lesson about the 1777 Charleville, and I hope you enjoy my videos. Thank you very much.